You're a brand new agent. You just got into real estate. March 2020. You're gonna make it your year. And then, all of a sudden, coronavirus hits. Guys, I know that this scenario is out there. And if you're watching this video and you just got into real estate right before the pandemic, this video's for you. This is Danny Gould, everyone, with the Selling Silicon Valley Group. Welcome to another video, a very special quarantine edition here with my white wall. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Listen, guys, if you've been watching my channel for any period of time, you'll know that I really love educational content. I love focusing my content and gearing it towards helping younger agents, helping people that are just getting into real estate and giving them a roadmap to success, or at least some of the keys, the key takeaways that I've taken away. Key takeaways that I've taken away, right? Exactly. Key takeaways that I've taken away from my first 5.5 years or so in real estate. And this is the same advice that I would give any person on my team that's joining. And I want to give it to you because right now we're in the midst of a global crisis. And this is something that's affecting everyone, not just brand new real estate agents, but literally every single real estate agent and every single person out there. However, if, and I actually, the inspiration for this question came from a Zoom happy hour that I was on last week. And one of the gals on the Zoom call had just gotten a real estate license like maybe 3 or 4 months ago. And she was brand new in real estate. And even though she had sphere of influence and connections in the area, she didn't necessarily have any clients that she's working with right now. And in the midst of all this, getting clients to work with is going to be, even that much harder. And so what I wanted to share with you today were 5 practical tips for you as a newer agent to implement during the coronavirus epidemic and during this pandemic. I'm assuming, if you're watching this video, that you're likely sheltered in place at this point. And you're likely going to be sheltered in place for the next 4 weeks. Today is, I believe, April 3rd. So I believe California has extended their shelter in place through May 3rd. And so we have a full month now. And in some cases, in some areas, it's going to be longer. In some areas, it's going to be shorter. But let's just say for the next month, you're sheltered in place. And you've been sheltered in place for the last 2 weeks. You haven't made a paycheck, or if you've made a paycheck, it's very, it's very little compared to what you need to make for the entire, rest of the year. Let's face it, springtime, these last, this last month and this month, March, April, May, those are typically the frothiest months for real estate agents in any area. And so to have this time to not have any production or to have your production cut back during this time means you're going to make less money this year, right? And so in terms of tips and in terms of practical advice, the first thing I would tell anyone that had just gotten into real estate is to, number one, don't lose touch of the people that are closest to you. Your sphere of influence, you should still be reaching out to them. And the message isn't, hey, do you want to buy a house today? That's not really the question you should be asking. The questions you should be asking is, how are you? Are you okay? Is your family healthy? Are you healthy? Is there anything that I can do to help? These are the questions that need to be asked, because the truth is that as a real estate agent, you're in a service industry, and service industry doesn't just imply that you are there to service their real estate needs. You're there to service them, period. And that means in any way, shape, or form that you can provide a level of value or service to them in this time of need, you should be there for them. Because if you want to be the leader that they need you to be, or if you want to be the real estate agent for them, you need to be the leader that they need you to be as well. And so, the outreach that you do today will pay dividends tomorrow. And that's ultimately the message that I'm driving home to all of my team members here with Selling Silicon Valley Group is right now is not the time to be a salesperson. Yeah, there are going to be sales done. And luckily here in the Bay Area, we've now, and in most parts of the country now, real estate is deemed essential, which means that listings that we have on the market can now be shown privately, which means that we can now go out and privately show buyers in groups of 2 as long as we're following safety protocols, proper safety protocols. However, the reality is that real estate is vastly different now than it was a month ago, and there's less loan products out there. There's less buyers. There's less sellers. Everyone's taking a step back to reassess and rethink their strategies. And in the time where everyone pulls back, you need to push forward, right? And so the other thing that I wanted to mention in that same line with checking in with your sphere of influence is checking in on any potential buyers or sellers that you have, like anyone in your pipeline, any leads, and the message should be, hey, I just wanted to check in with you. I've been getting a lot of real estate questions, and I'm definitely here to answer those. But more importantly, I just wanted to check in and see how you guys are doing, right? And then naturally, a lot of these people are going to start asking you, well, how's the market, everything? And you can use that to weave back into the conversation, weave them, get back into that conversation and restart it. Because for the last 2 weeks, you may have lost contact with them or reduced contact. And so that's a great opportunity for you to just check back in with them and see how they're doing. And keep in mind that I don't really care what modality you use to get in front of these people. When I say sphere of influence, I'm not necessarily meaning like call every single one of the people that you are closest to. One of the things that I love doing is Facebook. Facebook Messenger is an amazing tool. You have a lot of people there on Facebook Messenger that you may not interact with on a daily basis, but just checking in with them, there's a lot of gold in there. I've gotten every single year that I've been in real estate, I've had at least 1 or 2 friends who I've messaged on Facebook Messenger refer me and or use my services to buy and or sell a home. And in the last couple of years, it's been more than just 1 or 2. It's been a handful, like I would say, half dozen or so every single year that have fallen under that category. And so making sure that you're going and making yourself that resource for them in this time of need is gonna pay huge dividends, not just now, but later on down the road. And so the next thing that I had, number 2, is skills. Right now, you're sitting at home and you're likely doing probably nothing, right? Or close to nothing. And so right now, if you're a new agent and you've been doing this for, we're gonna say less than 4 months, right? You just got into the business at the beginning of the year. Your skills are nowhere near where they need to be. And so now would be the perfect opportunity for you to brush up on your scripts, your dialogues, your objection handlers. The reality is that the market post coronavirus is going to be brutal. It's gonna be brutal for the people that don't know how to handle objections. You're going to get a lot of questions asked. And if you don't have the skill set, if you don't have the knowledge, if you don't have the tools to assist you in answering those questions and handling those objections, you're not going to survive. You're not going to survive. You've already got the new agent thing stacked against you. So if you are a new agent and you don't know shit, you're going to get eaten alive. And so my honest suggestion to all of you would be to brush up on all your skills, utilize the resources that are available to you. If you have questions on objection handling, if you have a specific objection handler that you'd like help with, especially in this coronavirus epidemic, right? If there's something specific to coronavirus that you need help with, if you have an objection that you can't handle, drop a message down below. I read all of my comments. I may not respond to every single one, but I do read all of them. And so if I see them down below, I'll for sure either write it out or I'll make a video and I'll tag you in it. So the next thing that I would recommend, number 3, is to educate yourself. Right now, for the next month, you're going to be sitting at home and again, right, brushing up on those skills, brushing up on your objection handlers. By that same token, you should also be educating yourself on any sort of real estate related topic and or lending topic and or brush up on previous economic collapses. the 08, 09 crash, the dot-com crash, all of those, because history tends to repeat itself, and you should be educating yourself. And it doesn't mean like go out there and read history books. Go out there on YouTube. I mean, look, you're already taking a step in the right direction by watching this video because you're educating yourself, right? Because you've stumbled upon this video, it's readily apparent to me that you're already in that process of educating yourself. Channels and people that I love, Tom Ferry has great content online. I would definitely recommend watching his content. Keeping Current Matters, Steve Harney, they're great as well. And those would be kind of like the core people that I would follow in this time of need. And if you have other suggestions, if you've been watching people that you like and you throw their name down below, definitely make sure to give them a shout out, because I'm always open to hearing from new people or hearing new perspectives. But those are the perspectives and those are the educators that I found to be most useful during this time. So, my fourth suggestion would be to exercise. And not just exercise, but exercise more than you're accustomed to exercising. Let's face it, this is a brutal environment where it's very easy to get down. Even earlier this week, I'm pretty strong. I'm pretty headstrong, but even earlier this week, I was finding myself slipping again into like this fear mindset, right? This anxiety took over, and I started to think about worst case scenarios, right? And it's very easy for us to get caught up in that. And it's scientifically proven that exercise helps combat those negative feelings and those negative thoughts. And so the more time you can take yourself out of those thoughts and into something that's going to, provide you with energy, provide you with endorphins, provide you with a better physical self, the better, right? I mean, look, it's not illegal to go outside and run. It's not illegal for you to go outside and do bodyweight exercises. If you have a home gym, congratulations, that's amazing. Use that. Right now, I'm exercising like 3 to 4 hours a day. And I'm usually I usually get to the gym and do about 2 to 3 hours worth of work, including mobilizing and stretching and everything. But now I've not doubled it, but I've upped it by like 50%. I'm doing 3 to 4 hours of exercise, restorative exercise as well, like stretching, yoga, foam rolling, all that stuff, about 3 to 4 hours a day. And I would highly encourage that you do the same, because you're either going to do that or you're going to poison yourself with like more liquor. Like yesterday was my rest day, and I started drinking. Like I had a glass of wine at like 4 p.m. and I was like, what am I doing? Like it's 4 p.m. And so I set the glass down and I was like, all right, I'll take another sip at like 6. So look, it happens to the best of us. I know that this is happening because I see it. I see it with all my friends. I see the Instagram posts. I see the Facebook posts. I know what's going on. And so I would suggest that at 4, when you get that urge, you just go out and go for a run, right? Or do something, get yourself out of that house, get yourself out of the house, get yourself into a state of physical activity so that you can, prevent yourself from falling into that rabbit hole of, well, what if, or worst case scenarios, or coronavirus, like the world's going to end. It's not going to end, guys. The world's not going to end. There's been 40,000, I believe, or 50,000 deaths worldwide from coronavirus. So it's not going to be the end of the world. It's definitely a serious issue, but it's not going to be the end of the world. And then finally, I see, guys, I have all these. I have a little note here. Last thing that I would do, and this is something that I've been doing as well, is coronavirus is not going to end after shelter in place is removed. Okay, period. This is going to be an issue. This is going to be a health issue for a while. And that's not just me saying that there's many experts out there that are saying this is going to carry through for a long time. And so just because if you're a young, able-bodied person and you're in real estate, you have an advantage, because there are going to be real estate agents that for health reasons should stay home post shelter in place. And so my suggestion to you would be, if you're brand new, reach out to the agents in your brokerage, in your office that you've met in networking events, anything that you can. Reach out to them and say, hey, it's Danny Gould. I know that shelter in place is coming up soon. I just want to be mindful of the fact that some people may not be able to do all of the activities that you're accustomed to doing, right? Is there anything that you might need help with over the next couple of weeks or months that I can assist you with, right? You just leave it open-ended. But here are some things that you might be able to help with: showings, listing prep, etc. You can essentially become the quasi showing agent and assistant for a handful of older at-risk agents, or agents that just would prefer to not expose themselves to coronavirus. I'm not telling anyone to do something that's unsafe or illegal, but what I am telling you guys to do is take advantage, right? Be the resource for people that aren't going to be able to necessarily go out there and do things in the coronavirus environment, before it's fully under control, but after shelter in place. So there's going to be some windows of opportunity for you to pick up some business if you're willing to put in the work and if you're willing to make that outreach. I would recommend a phone call and or a text message to the people that you are most serious about. Don't just blast email. I did that. I did a blast email and it didn't work out very well. So I would be more targeted. I would be more specific with the people that you reach out to and just offer a helping hand. The law of reciprocity is what you give out, you get in return. And I truly believe that this is a time for all of us to come together and realize that there are so many important things in life. And guys, I'm sitting here at my house, and I'm doing a lot of analysis, and I'm thinking about all these things that, all these ambitions and all these ideas I had for this year. And while I still hold on to many of those, the reality is that this is a time to reevaluate your life, to reevaluate your desires and to reevaluate all of the things that matter to you. Because the reality is that when you sit here and you realize that at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is having a great home, right? Having a great place to come back to, because this is all that matters, right? Everything else is just fluff. It's degree, a far cry from what's important. So keep that in mind too. Keep it in perspective. This too shall pass. You will overcome this if you're willing to put in the work, and if you don't allow the circumstances to pollute your mind into thinking that this is the end of the world. So those are my 5 tips for you. I hope that you've gotten some value out of that. If you have any questions at all about any of the things that I've talked about, go ahead and leave your comments down below. I'm always here to answer those. As always, guys, you know who it is. It's Danny Gould with the Selling Silicon Valley Group, and I will catch all of you in the next video.